Hello, and welcome to an experience unlike any other. Are you ready for a ride that you never asked for? Just kidding. Hello. Welcome to another episode of Maybe It's Me, the podcast where I and a whole bunch of my friends give you unsolicited, unwarranted, unasked for, unqualified, but honest and sometimes funny sex advice.
Yes!
My name is Carlos Ramirez, and I am joined today by a friend of mine, Mer. She is the owner of Dollhouse here in Allentown, Pennsylvania. Say hi.
Hey guys, I'm Mer.
How are you today?
I'm doing really good. I'm really excited for this episode, and I'm so happy you asked me to be on it.
Oh, of course. I'm glad you're excited. I'm so excited too. Are you just ready to talk about sex in the best way?
Yes, let's do it. I want to help people, answer all their questions, everything like that. So let's get into it.
Definitely. Right before that, just, why don't we tell the people kind of what you do? I know you own the Dollhouse in Allentown, which is a lash bar, right?
Yes, and it's not a strip club, but so I didn't know there was a Dollhouse strip club in Allentown before I opened. So it's kind of fitting. But
I could just imagine having like old men roll up in the beginning.
Yeah, 3 men have walked into my business before being like, is this a strip club? And we were like, no, it's actually a safe space for females. So please leave.
But there's a tip jar if you want to leave something.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yes. And there might be an after-hour stripper pole.
Exactly, but it is invite only. You are not
By
invited.
Appointment only.
Oh my god, I love that. Well, you know what though? You can take. So I'm just excited. If you know that I'm really excited for your ideas to hear your mind with these people. But yeah, you're right. Let's get right into it. We're gonna go into the sex topic of the day. Alrighty, so sex topic of the day is you should be using more lube.
All right.
How do you feel about that, Mer?
I feel like the wetter the better. So
No, but yes.
that needs to be the title of this episode.
The wetter the better.
Yeah.
Yes. No, I agree.
Yeah.
I can't stand it. People or like guys will be like, let's just do raw. I'm like, what is wrong with you?
Yeah. Well, I also feel like, okay, I feel like when you're putting it in your ass, that's a little bit different. I feel like you kind of have to use lube.
You would
right?
be, you do. And whether people follow the rule of what you have to do or not is different.
Yeah, that's very true.
But you for the most part, for me, I'll full blown like stop the guy. I'm like, no. You know what I mean? Get out of the sexy mentality and voice. I'm like, no, I'm not joking. Lube. But for you, do you feel like you need to use lube?
Okay, I feel like that's the thing. I feel like you don't need to because the vagina is it does it by itself, you get wet. So I don't want to say you should be getting wet enough that you need to use lube, but at the end of the day, if you're not wet enough, you could literally tear and stuff like that. So I feel like people should be using more lube. I feel like people are afraid to use lube. From a female point of view, a lot of the time people can be like, oh my, it's insecurity if you have to use more lube. I'm not wet enough for you or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not how it is. Essentially you could just have more fun with lube.
No, exactly. Yeah. No, that's really true. I haven't even read this article, by the way. Sex topic is an article. It wasn't just me telling you should be using more lube. You fighting back. Right. But no, that is so true. And then I have had flavored lube. And stuff like that. And I'm not into it, let's just eat lube. But the coincidence where it just gets in your mouth, I'm like, this isn't horrible.
Right.
So I get it.
Yeah. Yeah, you could do a lot of different things with it.
You're
I'm not drinking it.
If you say so, I get it.
But also too, so one, do you go to a hookup expecting to use lube?
Yes.
Okay.
I do. That is because, so I said it last time that I have many hemorrhoids inside of me.
I heard.
from the grapevine, which was myself. Just snitching at myself. So I have to, because if I don't, then I can get really hurt.
Can that shit burst?
No.
Oh.
But they more like if they get aggravated, then they'll start bleeding.
Okay.
If it's really bad, well, then that's just really bad. Then I'll really start bleeding, and then I'll have to like seek like real medical assistance, like go to the ER.
Oh my God. Have you ever been fucking somebody and they start to bleed?
I don't do that act very often.
Okay.
So no.
Okay.
To answer your question, but for me, it's happened.
Okay.
I have had like we have been doing it, and that you can tell though.
Yeah.
It's never just like, oh my God. Like you usually feel some type of discomfort.
Okay.
And
for
then,
them.
Yeah, like while I'm bottoming.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I can feel discomfort from them.
Right.
And then even when you use more lube and then it becomes better, you can still always kind of feel it.
Yeah. Because I mean, obviously it's still there. So.
Yeah. Well, has it happened to you? Have you bled?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So that's the thing too. Like if you're not wet enough, or I mean, if somebody's bigger or rougher or something, you can bleed if you're not wet enough. So lube it up.
Yeah, lube it up.
Yeah, because
right?
it's not cute and it's low key. I'm like, the shit, that's
Right.
embarrassing.
Well, right.
Yeah, especially when you just meet them in the bathroom.
Right. Because, not that we would know, but you just, would need it ready. You
Right.
want to make sure.
But so, do you ever feel like lube interferes? Like, do you feel like it ever ruins the moment? Like, if you forget it or something, like, fuck, I have to go grab it or something like that. Like, it puts a pause to the minute.
Me, I'm a bottom to the end. I will make that shit work. Let me tell you, there will not be a pause, which is not safe. Like, do not put like soap up your ass. I'm just saying.
Some spit, maybe.
Spit. Try your spit first, right? Yeah. So that will be the big thing. It'll usually just like be spits, and then it just kind of makes it a bit more hot because then the spit has to get there one way or another.
Exactly. Make it a little bit raunchy or something
exactly.
like that.
Like it can't be just a quick fuck.
Yeah. Did you know that they say that spitting in somebody's mouth, I guess that wouldn't be for like lube, but it's witchcraft.
No.
Yeah, they say
we cannot
witchcraft.
just run over the facts. You would include spitting in your mouth. Well, I mean, that is more witchcraft to me. Spitting in your mouth, because I don't personally like it. So when it happens, if I get your ass away from me.
Yeah.
So that I'm like, damn, like they are a witch. Like I don't like them. I did not know that. Why is it witchcraft?
I don't know. I just read it. I don't know, but then wouldn't you say like making out with somebody is witchcraft then? Because you're just transferring fucking spit.
Well, where did that start? Did it start from like where the witches like licking people's wounds or something? Like why would it be associated with?
I don't know. I'm know.
So curious.
Maybe they got freaky.
Let's change the sex topic of the day.
Yeah, anyway, back
Right.
to lube.
No, exactly. Back to lube. Okay. Well, let me read the article.
If you're listening, I don't mind spit in the mouth.
Myrrh is okay with spit in the mouth. After hours only.
Yeah.
Do not roll up into the dollhouse.
No.
I do not. All right. So you should be using more lube. This article is from wire.com. I say usually every podcast. I'm going to keep saying it. I do get most of my sex topics of the day from .coms. I tried .orgs, .net, .gov. If you want to complain about it, then send me one. All right. So I love lube. To me, having sex without lube is like brushing your teeth with the dry toothbrush. It might get the job done, but the result is sticky, kind of painful, and doesn't leave you feeling refreshed. Lube is not an optional luxury that sits in the bedside drawer waiting for the right moment. Whether you are spending some intimate time with yourself, a partner, or many partners, an intimate lubricant should be involved. No bedroom is complete without at least one or two varieties on hand, especially if you're planning to use toys. You should be using sex toys, but that's another story. The writer of this has opinions.
Right.
I'm just gonna say that. As far as I'm concerned, lube is an essential for sex as condoms and clean hands. Oh, that clean hands. She really ate the girls up with that, though.
Yeah.
Can I say that?
I think the clean hands is the necessity out of all necessities for them.
Right? It's not equal. Not like it's equal to that. Like hygiene
Yeah.
is baseline before you walk in.
I rather you have clean hands than wrap it up, honestly.
No, to be honest, I'll risk a disease from your dick before
a disease from your hands.
Yes. That is exactly what I'll say. It's so... All right, so the next section of this article is no lube, no boob, which is, I was surprised to learn that not everyone is with me on this. In the bedrooms I've been in, in the bedrooms I've been in, lube has been as common as bed sheets and tarot cards.
So witchcraft. She has spit in her mouth. She definitely likes some spit in her mouth.
No, she does. Like she has something to say. And I'm so glad Wired gave her this opportunity.
She's sponsoring this episode.
No, literally. I'm gonna at you. We're on Spotify. Okay, if you haven't tried lube before, or if you have some reservations about it, that's probably not your fault. There are powerful forces working to convince you that you should be out there raw dogging it. Dark forces gathering in the night who seek only to chafe your genitals. Okay, I think we can stop here. Which is basically to continue our conversation. I wish I knew who this woman was.
I know. We need to have her as a guest.
Yes. Like, she needs to be here. Because she's basically saying how she loves lube.
I think if you feel chafing as somebody's inside of you, you should use lube. I think that's when it's a necessity. Other than that, I think it's by situation, by person. But if there's any discomfort, you should be talking to your partner. Yes. You should feel comfortable enough to talk to your partner, but also grab the lube.
No, literally, what? Have you experienced chafing or anything you could think is...
I wouldn't say I've experienced chafing inside of my vagina, but I mean, definitely if I'm not wet enough, I'm like, oh, this doesn't feel as good as I wish it did. So, yeah.
I love when I could have those thoughts in it. I'm like, okay, this has been better.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And sometimes I'm like, it's not always their fault, but I'm like... Okay.
Yeah.
Just deal with it.
But also that's why, you should have foreplay and, don't just stick it in, literally. Like, you got to warm it up.
Do you have a preference of types of lube? As in like water-based. Well, let's start with that. Like water-based silicone.
So I really only like natural stuff inside of me. Yeah, I have like a very natural diet and stuff like that too. So I switched over to everything like organic, natural, plant-based. So I pretty much now only use like a coconut oil base. I think it's coconut oil. Yeah. And it actually was like beneficial for you. It helps with like cleaning your vagina out and stuff like that.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. Okay.
So I guess that would be my preferred, but I mean, water-based is good, but...
Do you like make your own or do you have somewhere you buy it?
I have somewhere I buy it. I bought this one off of Woo or something like that. Just somewhere on Instagram. But I did actually buy an herbal. One of my employees' cousins actually made like some kind of lube, so I bought it, but I never used it because I was afraid. Because it's like for your body too. Well, I mean.
Well, you should actually do like the skin patch test. To make sure you're not like allergic to it.
Well, I put it on my hands because it was like a lotion too. That's why I was afraid.
That would make me uncomfortable. Yeah. I don't always want it all in one.
Exactly.
It's not always necessary.
Right. So, and I definitely I'll say my skin's all over is more on the sensitive side. So I do have to do like little patch tests and stuff like that.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
I love that. I wish I adopted that more because eating wise, I try to be healthy. Yeah. I'm very conscious about what I'm eating. Sexually, I do use silicone lube though. Just because I wish I used to. I have used like coconut oil.
It's nice because when your body heats up, like it kind of gets like a little bit on the warmer side.
It does. I just don't like coconut.
Yeah. I don't like artificial. I don't want to taste it. That's for
That's
sure.
the issue, right? And so the issue is if they do things to me and it tastes like coconut and then we
Yeah.
make out,
Yeah.
I'm
You're
like, like this is not it. But I feel you, because it is a lot better.
Yeah.
But I use silicone-based lube usually because that's better than water-based.
Yeah. Water based, I don't think I'll ever reach for it. I mean, if it's my only option, but
Literally.
yeah.
It's like I'm fried, don't have spit. So I have to use water-based lube.
Exactly.
Because it just dries up so quickly. It's sticky. It's
Yeah.
gross. I will say, I've said it before on the pod, but it's, like toys. A lot of them you have to use water-based because I
Yeah.
think the silicone like eats
It does.
at it. But silicone, I know it like can stain your sheets, but it just works.
It
And
does.
nothing replaces something that actually works.
Exactly, and everybody has their preference too. So if that's what gets you off the most and makes you enjoy it the most, then
Speaking of preferences, I think we should start jumping into our advice questions.
Okay.
Right? Are you actually excited about this one though?
yes. The advice questions are the best. I always look forward to them in your podcast as well.
Oh my
when I
god,
listen to
yeah,
it.
thank you. I'm really excited about these set of questions. But before we get into it, just so everyone knows, you can send your questions to me at maybeitspod@gmail.com. It's so much easier and better to organize on email, so I do prefer it that way. And again, thank you to everyone who did write in a question, and let's get into it. Okay, so Mara, are you excited for these sex questions?
Yes, I'm so excited.
All right, so I thought it would be great to do one that kind of goes into the sex topic of the day, which is how to last longer.
Ooh, okay. Let's hear it.
All right, so I'm hoping this isn't a repeat of some sort. I have an issue during sex where I often come quite quickly. This isn't helped by the fact that my girlfriend and I have sex bareback, but man, does it ever feel awesome. Sorry, they didn't need to do that.
No, they definitely did not.
No. But I rarely last more than 1 minute, if even that. So I always make sure to get her off first. I would really love to last longer and extend the experience. I'm hoping there is someone out there who can fill us poor dudes in on lasting longer. Any help you can offer would be great.
Okay, so I want to start with female point of view. Because I know that's an insecurity for guys. Like, if that was ever a case for myself and my partner, from a female point of view, you have to make them feel comfortable and stuff like that. Because if you are too pressured and everything, you're going to be overthinking like crazy as well. So then,
So do you feel like you're saying, so from your point of view, that a woman can help by making the guy feel more comfortable?
Yeah, that's what I think. And then even like stopping, just admiring your partner and stuff like that. Like literally just stop and enjoy the moment a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously just find out what works for you. Try different positions and stuff, because obviously you like one position better than the other. So maybe save that position for last or something,
No, yeah, exactly. I also feel like this man's name is Jason. So I'm going, I've changed it up. Okay. We're just going to name the people random names. So no, I definitely agree, right? Yeah. Like save the position that gets you there or that just feels the best for last, and like from a guy's point of view, you could start with how to pleasure your partner.
Right.
So if it's not necessarily doing the most for you, but it's helping them a lot, like that can last longer. 1 minute is a bit, that tells me that there might be like, you feel a sort of pressure.
Right.
Because like if you said less than 5 minutes, then I'm just like, okay, like try different things.
Right.
But less than a minute, it's like calm down.
Yeah, exactly. You might be like rushing it in your head.
Exactly. Like if you're already thinking about it, that's probably why.
Exactly.
1, 2, 3. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Just the breathing. You know what I mean? It really helps. And then
lock eyes with your partner or something like that. Like
no, exactly. And well, the reason that we were doing this one first is because lube can help.
Right.
I know numbing lube is quite problematic, but is there a lube that you could think of
to help them last longer?
Besides numbing lube, which obviously
I don't know. Like I know you could I don't think so. I mean, not to help them last longer. I feel like in a way, lube would make them finish faster because it feels better.
You're right.
Like,
You're so right about
that's where
that.
my mind
I
goes.
did not even think about that. Yeah.
But I mean, obviously, you could get like prescriptions and stuff like that or something. Like if it's a medical concern, that's different. There's stuff you could do, people you could talk to.
That is absolutely true. Seek a physician.
Right. Not us.
No. And do not, I would never try numbing lube with someone I wasn't regularly sleeping with.
Right.
Because then you could get hurt and you wouldn't know. But if this is a partner, Jason, that you're doing it with on the regular, I mean, then maybe you could try that.
Right.
Because it doesn't literally numb it.
Exactly. Same thing as before. Like every situation is different. Just communicate with your partner. If you're having that worry, talk to your partner about that worry too, because your partner can help you so much more than you even realize. So
exactly.
Yeah.
And so before we move on to the question, do you have a preferred time length?
I think it kind of just depends who it is and this
Okay.
setting or like situation.
I'm just gonna note.
Like, is it a quickie or?
I love how the setting is always a big factor
know,
in your
it really
answers.
is.
Because I get it.
Like-
I think a lot of people may think it's like, oh, like sex, like in your bedroom, a planned event, come over.
I don't just want bedroom sex. Like,
Correct. I have done it in a bathroom
yeah.
and in other places where
So that kind of has to be a little bit quicker, but bedroom, I don't know. I would say, again, it kind of like, am I making love with you or are we just
here for the
Like,
experience.
exactly.
Is it more transactional?
right? So putting a time limit to it is kind of hard. I would say, I mean, I personally definitely want you to last a little bit. I would say, for me, I would say like 15, 20.
I was just about to say that.
Yeah.
I was like, I think fully satisfied 15,
Yeah.
like solid 15, 20 minutes. I don't have a cap. Do you have a cap of how long?
I don't think so. No, I think if it's the right person, then if you want to go all fucking night, then
It just happens.
Exactly. Yeah,
It's about communicating.
exactly. And I do think like if there's alcohol involved, like, or if you're on vacation or something, like each moment is different. So I don't ever want to put like a time to it, but
Exactly.
yeah, I don't want to be too quick. That's for sure.
Jason, so calm down.
Yeah,
That's the note,
Yeah,
right?
just
It's
breathe.
great, communicate, but
essential oil maybe.
oh, you're right.
Yeah.
Like sniff some eucalyptus.
Yeah, honestly,
Like
spray
poppers?
the sheets with I thought that's what you were gonna say.
Pop for eucalyptus.
Right? But yeah, spray the sheets. With some
No, but
lavender
truly,
spray.
it truly is. It might be the environment.
Yeah.
If it's really always under a minute,
Yeah.
Then-
yeah.
calm down.
Right.
That's the advice there. So
Smoke some medical marijuana, only medical. Make sure you seek
Exactly.
a doctor's help.
exactly, seek a physician. If you really need assistance, contact 911, not your friends.
Yes.
All right. So next question. This one is going to be Dick Hickey.
Okay.
So I got a blowjob yesterday and it was great. But then I found a weird reddish mark on my penis the next day. Should I be concerned or is it just like a dick hickey? Thanks in advance. So I want to start this. Who do you think that it's the person's name who's asking you this?
A dick hickey. A dicky. I would say Josh.
Word. Run over
Right?
Josh. I like that. I like Josh. What, have you ever heard of this?
Actually, no. I've never heard of a dicky before. But I mean, it kind of makes sense.
True. I mean, it's like it works by blood vessels.
Yeah.
So wouldn't it just like not get soft?
Wait, what?
Because the dick hickey, he was like, I found a weird reddish mark on my penis the next day. And so
Oh.
your penis only gets erect because it's
Well,
like filled with
think
blood.
about a normal hickey. It doesn't show up in the instant.
No, but what I'm saying is, isn't a hickey just like a gathering of your blood vessels?
Yeah. So it's kind of like a bruise underneath your skin.
So if you had a bruise underneath your skin and it was towards like the front of your penis, wouldn't your penis always kind of be, because the blood's already there? This is all basically to say that I don't
get what you're saying.
Okay. So because
Like you're saying
it's
your
the
dick will stay hard overnight?
well, because it's a gathering of blood vessels, isn't it?
Yeah, I think.
So wouldn't the blood have to be in your penis?
Blood is still always in your penis.
But okay, but it gets erect when more flows into it.
Right.
So since there's more flowing into it because I see I'm being dumb.
I might be being dumb right
I
now.
think I'm overthinking it. I think that's what it is.
So I think they mean literally like a hickey on your neck, but on your dick. So maybe like,
Just imagine it being red.
yeah, well, that's the concern. Like, I feel like it would be like purple or some shit like that.
So
not
that's
red.
where I think that's maybe what's throwing me off. That it wouldn't be a reddish mark.
Yeah, like,
so that's why I'm like, if it's literally blood,
right.
I feel like this would be more of a medical concern.
That's what I'm thinking. By the explanation of that, I would say I don't think it's a hickey. A dick like, I feel like it's maybe a rash or something.
Look, it's truly.
Like, you should go get checked out.
Let's just switch up or is it just like a dick hickey? I don't know. Is that a thing? And if it is, that doesn't sound like what it would be like.
Exactly. That's what I'm thinking too. Like, I don't know. I don't think I have ever given anybody a dick hickey. Have you ever had a dick hickey?
Never had a dick hickey.
I also like, how hard are you sucking on their dick? Like, would that be enjoyable unless they like, do they like pain?
And then why are you asking if you were getting painful head on purpose?
Yeah. Again, communicate with your partner.
Exactly.
If you don't want a fucking dicky, don't let them give you one.
Exactly that. Exactly. Communicate that you don't want a dicky. Communicate with your partner and your physician.
Yeah.
That one is I go to a doctor.
Yeah. I think that's the moral of today's story.
Go to a doctor.
Yeah.
Please. Because people clearly need to hear
Right.
that everything needs to be solved with advice. Like medical attention.
Exactly.
Is normal.
The only other thing would be, I mean, it wouldn't be a hit. Like, you don't get a hickey from teeth, but if it's red, if they were using their teeth too much, something like that.
Yeah.
Like, you could have a scratch or a bite mark, but
Yeah, this person, a weird reddish mark. They also said mark and not spot.
yeah.
I think someone bit his penis. Josh's penis was bitten.
It's a love bite.
Josh's love bitten penis.
Yeah.
Or
But I think you should get medical. If it doesn't go away, seek medical help.
Yes, that is the
And
moral.
if it grows or,
Yep.
like pusses or something.
If it develops swells.
You
Yes,
have any
please-
fluids coming out.
Exactly. Please seek medical attention for
You
your
get
love
any
bitten
kind of
penis.
weird kind of smell, then
Yeah, just be aware. Communication.
Right.
That is the key. All right. Next question. What does it mean when a woman says you're so deep during sex? Last night I was having sex and she moaned, "You're so deep. There's not enough room." Sorry, you get a good joy out of saying it that way.
I know.
I'm genuinely curious because she wasn't in pain. More pleasure. If it matters, we were doing doggy style prone position. What does that mean? You're so deep. There's not enough room. Sorry, I took a pause because what is doggy style prone position?
I don't get the prone part. Like prone, like you were mainly just in doggy style.
Oh,
Like
maybe.
you were pronely in doggy style.
Or maybe they started in doggy and it developed.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what he's saying. Like,
I guess.
that's
I don't
where
know.
it was. He didn't know else to describe it. Okay.
Well, also it's continue.
No, I was actually just going to ask what you thought about the question.
Okay, so can I see the question?
Absolutely.
So let's see. So it starts off with saying you're so deep, but then it elevates to you're so deep, there's not enough room.
Mhm.
That to me is if she's like explaining there's not enough room or something, that would be a red flag that maybe she's in pain. Like she's telling you to stop without telling you to stop in a way. So if she's saying there's not enough room,
It kind of sounds like a signal to slow down.
yeah.
Yeah.
Or I guess, but if somebody's saying you're so deep, I would also say that maybe she's trying to compliment you.
Yes, because I would.
Yeah.
I have. That's not what I have.
Right.
You can find that phrase from my mouth
But so I
if
feel like,
applicable.
yeah, I feel like this person was maybe trying to compliment, but then also saying you're too deep or there's not enough room.
You know,
There obviously is enough room.
clearly. Like
Or-
if you don't hear screams, right?
Right,
Screeching,
literally.
then clearly you have the ability to be there.
Exactly.
You know what I just clicking? I think we found a guy who's insecure.
Yeah.
That's what it was. I
That's
think
what I
she
think.
was trying to compliment him.
Yeah.
Like, you're so deep, there's not enough room. She was trying to like hype him up.
Right.
And he was like, oh my God, like, is that okay? This is so sweet.
I
This is
know.
actually a really honest question. What's an honest guy's name?
Ugh, none of them. None that I know.
None? Okay. What is one that you feel like is less dishonest?
Less dishonest?
Yes.
Oh,
That you'll trust but like be skeptical of?
Jacob.
Oh, I like Jacob.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. A Jake.
Yeah.
Jake from State Farm.
Jake from State Farm.
Yes. I trust. Jakey. Yes. Just Jakey. I like it.
Jakey, you're sweet.
Yes. I was about to say Jakey is sweet. We appreciate you, Jakey. But it's a compliment.
Yeah, I would say it's a compliment for sure. So,
But I would also, on top of that, would be like, just also pay attention.
right.
Like, make sure when she's saying it that it actually, like, she's not like wincing.
Yeah.
And
It's also about how you say something, not what you say. So it's again, it's like the tone.
yeah, and then like this, what I'm gonna say is actually like the point of the podcast where it's like, just talk about it.
Right.
It can just be like a quick convo, like before.
Or just say, baby, does that feel good? Like
Literally,
in the moment, because you
yeah.
can make that sexy. If you're curious or like if you're insecure or something like that, just say it in a sexy tone and you'll A, build your confidence if that's what you're looking for, and B, get your answer at the same time and not disrupt the moment.
So this is why I love Myrrh and having guests, because I never would have thought of that shit. That was a good ass gem right there. That's advice I would not have given. So there we go.
But also, again, if you're somebody that's coming to like a podcast or something to talk about or to get answers to your insecurities and stuff, find what makes you feel good. Like for me, if I'm with a new partner or something and you get those little like butterflies or insecurities and stuff like that, like I know I love to wear lingerie. Like find what is going to take your insecurities in the bedroom away so that you don't have to overthink these questions while you're in the moment.
Because it takes away from it.
Exactly.
It truly does.
Yeah.
Like, it's just setting
And
yourself
it's
up for
all
success.
exactly. It's all for pleasure. So
That's what it really is. It's all for fun.
Yeah.
So have fun having fun.
Exactly.
Like, don't take yourself too seriously.
Exactly.
It's not that serious. So, Jacob, you're good.
right.
All right. And so we are going to move on to the next question. Is it 1 in the pink and 2 in the stink, or 1 in the stink and 2 in the pink? So, real quick, so which one sounds right? Like, which phrase sounds right?
To me, 2 in the pink, 1 in the stink.
Me too,
Yeah.
right? I think, like, grip.
Right. Yeah.
So are we for or against?
what?
Are we for or against?
4, I guess.
Okay. Cool. I can't relate. So the stink is what works. All right. Next question.
Like
What?
unpopular opinion, but
Okay.
like if your fingers are going inside of me, you at least need to put 2 in there because what's one fucking finger, one hard ass finger gonna do? Like
No, you're right. That, let me tell you, I feel so bad. Real quick. Have you ever asked how many fingers is it? Because I remember, I think there had been a situation where I'll be like, you can put another one in.
Yeah.
And then I feel bad because I'm like, I'm not trying to tell you what to do, but I'm
But
trying to
still,
learn you what
it's-
to do.
exactly. Well, if they're putting it inside of you, then yeah, tell them what to do.
You're
and
right.
some people get turned on by that. So
Because then they're like, oh shit, you know what? Because I didn't even think about that it
Yeah.
could be them just feeling out what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And so you doing it is now giving them permission to try more.
Exactly.
I
And
love
if you
so
know what
much.
you like, then you know what you like, you know? Again, it's all
Exactly.
about having the most fun. So
Exactly. And communicating. I love you so much. That really, see, that's why I have guests, y'all.
exactly.
Just struggling out here. All right. So we're actually going to move on to the last question.
The last question.
Yes. Have you been having fun so far?
Yes.
All right. So let's get into it. So MMF threesome questions. So I, 23-year-old female, recently told my husband, Hubs, 25-year-old male, about a longtime fantasy I've had about a MMF threesome with his best friend. Oh? Bob, 24, male. It was just a fantasy and I didn't expect anything to come of it. Well, long story short, Hubs wants to make it happen tonight. Is it a good idea? Any advice? Help.
The best friend part throws me off a little bit.
Yeah, I don't know how to feel about that.
Yeah. Well, and you're married at 23. Good for you.
Oh, I didn't even catch that part.
Yeah. Good for you. You really must have your shit together.
I mean, you're right. To an
But
extent.
if you want to fuck the best friends.
And you're only 23.
Exactly.
I'm kind of curious as to...
Like, they're not 25 yet.
Exactly. And as everyone knows, 25 is a landmark age.
You know what you want.
Exactly.
So maybe she thinks that she wants the best friend now and not the husband. That's what I see.
No, exactly. Because I just feel like she couldn't know her husband for that long. And if that's his best friend... Even if she did, she's also known him. Well, she's only 23.
Right.
So if it's 10 years since like 13, right? So she just sounds like she's moving on.
Yeah, that's what I think too. Because also that young, if you're married and already fantasizing about fucking other people, I mean,
well, she says long time fantasy, but how long is long?
Right, exactly.
And that's... At one point, did you just want to fuck the best friend? Like, you don't have to convince yourself.
Like, were you at the altar and was like, oh my God, like his best man, I want to fuck him
exactly.
tonight. I want him to rip my dress off tonight.
No, literally. The only caveat to that, I feel, is that maybe they look similar.
Maybe.
As in, to the point where they themselves can recognize. Like, let's say, what would her name be?
She sounds like a... Karen.
You know what? I'm not going to lie to you. I have nothing against people getting married young. All I have to say, though, is that I feel like that could be a trait of a Karen.
Yeah, I think so.
You're right. And then I'm not putting this on her, but if all of a sudden she was divorced by 24 and married to Bob at 25, I just feel like I wouldn't be surprised.
No. She's going to come back and be like, you know what? You guys were right. I did take your advice. And I just needed to hear it from a different set of ears or whatever. Yeah.
No, my advice is if you want to stay married, for your own sake, don't do it.
But the husband is down. So is the husband wants to fuck the best friend too?
You know what? I didn't even realize that.
Yeah.
Most threesomes, I feel like hetero couples ends up being male, female, female.
Yeah.
And I don't know what it is. It's like this toxic masculinity where it's like, oh, I can have two females, but you can't have two guys.
Right.
Which tells me that they're a bit forward thinking.
But forward how?
Forward as in being like the guy's okay with another guy.
Yes. Or from another point of view, I feel like it could be the husband insecure or maybe knowing that she wants his best friend. And that's the only way to keep her.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, I think that was something you should have kept to yourself.
Yeah, I think so.
I think that's actually what it is.
That's what I think,
Karen, that is why she's a Karen.
Right.
You should have shut the fuck up. That is what it is. You don't have to tell your husband everything.
But I mean, if you're down for it, then I don't know. But then are you all getting married? Because what happens when you go to the next family barbecue and the best friend's invited too?
Well, I mean, it's the best friend. That's the guy.
Yeah. So he's always there.
Maybe
so
they just love drama because they just want people to be whispering. I heard they're all fucking.
Yeah. But then what? Every time they're together, the three of them have sexual tension?
Or imagine being the fourth friend.
Oh my God.
Who clearly doesn't want to have sex with them.
I don't think they would stay friends much longer. Or it would really be a family affair.
Yeah. No, literally, I don't have words. Is it a good idea? And it's not a good idea.
No.
It's not a good idea. I'm still upset at you, Karen, for even telling your husband this.
Yeah.
Because you're
Maybe
right.
if you want to do it, find a random partner. Especially if it's your first time. I feel like find the random. Well, I mean, then there's that comfort level, but find a different partner.
I'm less
like
comfortable
a swinger.
if it's my best friend joining. I'm so sorry.
I've never had a threesome, but I wouldn't want to with my best friend. I feel like
I'm glad we set the boundaries there where best friend is the line. I get it. I have, but I've never I've always been the odd one.
Okay. Like the add-in.
Correct.
Okay.
So I've either been so for with a couple, which is honestly the best ever because they're so comfortable with each other
I
and they
believe
know
it.
each other. So then all they have to do is figure out you.
Yeah. So then you're pretty much getting pleased the whole time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And
You're like the baby, literally.
literally.
Yeah.
And so it's great. But the other way, like I've been invited with two people who like vaguely knew each other.
Okay. But then it's three of you trying to figure each other out all at one time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So because she's married, I would say look for someone else.
Yeah, I agree.
And ask yourself why the best friend.
Right.
And depending on your answer, leave your husband.
That's what I think too. I think you're in love with the best friends.
Because if it's the emotional connection, if he doesn't look like your husband or he isn't just an all around like hot in a different way, then I think you need to reconsider.
That's what I think too, because I'm trying to put myself in those shoes. Like, I don't know. I think of my best friends. How would I like? So that if I'm the best friends, I would be looking at my best friend's man and be like, I want to fuck them. Is that how it like?
No, it'd be your best friend's man.
So you look like I personally look at them like a brother then, because it's like
exactly.
Yeah. So there's some kind of emotional something there.
There has
family
to be.
or something. So now if you're adding sex, there has to be some kind of sexual.
It should. I would imagine, or if it's your fantasy, and it's a threesome with the both of them, I feel like it must be obvious.
Yeah.
So my advice, Karen, is to divorce your husband and go get a hobby. You need to be busier.
Go on the run with the best friends.
Exactly.
Because maybe they're not actually best friends anymore.
But right before she does that, she should throw the idea of a throuple out there.
Yeah, like a permanent throuple.
Or temporary.
Yeah, but not with the best friend.
Still, you're right. So, is it a good idea? No. Any advice? Don't do it. Help. I can't help you, girl. You already opened your mouth.
You need to seek help.
You already, exactly.
Therapy help.
Go seek medical assistance. Right? Go seek a therapist.
Right.
If they do not fight back, if they recommend medications, go take it.
Yeah, please.
Please seek advice. All right. Well, that wraps up the podcast for today.
Thank you so much for having me. It was so much fun.
Of course. How does it feel? What are your thoughts?
Really good environment. You're really easy to talk to. It was really, really good. Yeah.
Thank you. Do you have a favorite question?
I already forget all the questions we talked about.
But that's how you know it's real.
Exactly.
Because I couldn't tell you that. I mean, I probably could, but not in the order.
No.
I just know we talked about it.
I would say, I don't know. I like all the questions because I personally like the fuel to I love helping people. So honestly, the questions part was my favorite part of the entire podcast.
Right. Well,
Yeah.
I'm glad. Yay.
Yeah,
All right. Well, Myrrh, tell people where they can find you.
Find me the most of Myrrh on Instagram, YouTube coming soon. We'll get there.
Yes.
But Dollhouse, come to the Dollhouse, get your lashes done, get your brows done, and let me help you grow a 6-figure beauty business because that's what I'm all about. So.
Yes. Honestly, people supporting people. She really is the best in the area at what she does.
Yes, I am.
So go check her out. You can find me, maybe it's pod on Instagram, and then carlos.rami. That's RAMI on Instagram. Thank you so much for chiming in. Have a great day.